All right, everybody. On behalf of Professional Title, I want to welcome you guys to 10 secrets that agents selling 100 homes a year do not want you to know. I've taught this in a couple of different places over the last few days, and people have said some of these things are absolute gold that they want to put in their business. So, some of the things that we talk about, you're probably going to have heard me slip out or spit out before if you've been to any of my stuff in the past. And I guarantee you some of these you guys are not doing or haven't even thought of. So what I want you to leave with today, if you can, if you're someone that is an implementer and can do all 10 of these, great. But of the 10, I want you to get at least one out of this that you can put into your business like today, tomorrow, now, and get something working. So I teamed up with a buddy of mine that runs it's actually the number three team in units in the world and does over 2,500 closings a year. And actually got him to throw some in here as well. And I am still lucky enough to be in a lot of the circles and friends with a lot of people from when I was running a big team that still do big team stuff. So got some good ones in here and got some of their input on there. So we just did a quick intro. I'll tell you guys about me for a second, and then we'll just dive right in. Most of you guys I know already. If I do not know you guys yet, my name's Ryan McHugh. I work with Cindy and Kent at Professional Title. I actually work for our parent company, Fidelity National, and we have, I found this out today, now we're up to 38 title offices throughout the state of Florida, so we can help you anywhere. But our goal and what I do really is I just help realtors build their business. That is it. I always laugh and joke that I'm a crappy title rep, and I am, but Cindy and Kent are great at that. But my job is to help you guys build your business, and we really believe that if we help you build and grow your business, you're going to know that it was us that did that, and naturally you're going to give us the title deals back. So that is why we do this. Title is not very exciting, so I'm not going to do a title sales pitch, but that is why we do this. I have been a single agent. I have ran the largest team in the state of Florida. We were number 1 in Florida and number 11 in the world in terms of units. The LA guys always beat the crap out of us in price point, but we sold over 400 homes a year, 3 years in a row. And over 90 million in sales each year with a team of at its peak 13 doing between 40 and 50 closings a month. So did that. And then I ran a large national franchise, built up 2 offices, recruited and trained a bunch of agents. And now I just work with Cindy and Kent and help you guys grow your business. So if we haven't met yet today, or if we haven't met in the past, you don't know me yet, but I'm a little rough around the edges, but I don't sugarcoat it. I just kind of tell you how it is. So hopefully you guys learned something from this. And those of you that I already know, they're already braced and ready for the ride. So let's dive in. Here are 10 secrets agents selling 100 homes a year don't want you to know. The first one is because golf is probably my least favorite sport on the planet, but I respect a really good golfer. My dad, my brother are fantastic golfers. And if you know anything about golf, those are what they call the hell bunkers in front of the green at St. Andrews. And the reason that I bring this up, I realize that bunkers and sand shots have nothing to do with real estate. But if you ever get the chance to spend any time with a good golfer, the one thing that distinguishes a really good golfer from a really crappy golfer like myself is their intentions of where they want to go and where they want to be. And if they know they're going to get themselves in a bad spot or have a tough time, they want to get there on purpose and be able to kind of dig themselves out. And this, pertains to real estate as well. For those of us that play golf at a really low level, like myself, usually 1, maybe 2 charity events a year, we get up to the tee, usually with a beer or a cocktail, and hope that we can connect with the ball, and wherever it lands, and then we'll figure it out when we get there. The really good players, they get up to the tee, they know exactly where they're going to hit it, exactly what club they're going to hit within a couple feet or a couple yards of where it's going to land. And if they know they have a tough shot coming up, they're going to put themselves in the best position to win at that hard spot. And what we're seeing real estate agents do a lot right now is the exact opposite of that. And this always happens when the market's on the run up, or things are still going good, is we're taking the layups, we're taking the low hanging fruit, right? And I get that. If you want to sell a lot of houses, at some point you do have to take some of them. But what I want you really to understand, or what I want you to pay attention to right now, is the fact that at some point the market is going to change, whether that's in 3 months or 3 years. I don't think anybody has the crystal ball and really knows. But just like a good golfer, deals with the hard shots, we need to do that in real estate as well. And one of the secrets of selling 100 homes a year is going to the hard spots and going there on purpose, and going to the spots that nobody wants to go to and nobody wants to work out of, and going there on purpose. So some examples I think of right now when I think of this, Number one is expireds. Nobody really wants to go to expireds right now because we know if something expired, it expired for a reason. And most likely it's because the seller's a jerk. We can call it what it is. They're either not allowing showings, they're unrealistic with the pricing, or maybe the property is just awful, right? So this is a hard spot that we can go to, but we can go there on purpose to drive more business. FSBOs, another one. A lot of people right now are not putting time into FSBOs because they think, okay, the good ones sell in 2 seconds and the ones that don't sell are usually really grumpy. And you're right. However, this is a hard spot that we need to go. We need to start setting ourselves up for the next shot or what's next in the market. Some of the other things I think of when I think of hard spots right now in real estate is tough data or tough people that are tough maybe with credit, or maybe they don't have a lot of down payment, or maybe they need FHA or VA right now. And we all know that those are not necessarily the easiest deals to get done just because of timing and competitiveness in the market. But what I want you guys to think, just like, a good golfer thinks, is what are the hard spots in my industry right now, in my local market? What are the things that no one's willing to do, or the areas that no one's willing to go to? Identify those for you, for your market. And I want you to attack that. And I want you to go there on purpose. And I don't expect you to make your whole business in one of these hard areas, but you need to start focusing and pick a hard area or a hard spot and make that your niche, or one of your niches that you can work. Because when the market does change, the people that have built up a business or built up a following or got really good in the hard areas are going to be the ones that survive through this. If you notice right now, there's been a great divide in the real estate industry the last year. The people that were selling a lot of houses and really had their stuff together before are selling more homes now than ever. And the people that weren't doing that great, or maybe not getting a lot of deals, are really selling less homes than ever. So it's really divided the agents. And the ones that are going to the hard spots are going to be the ones that are going to take advantage of the next market, kind of the next market of the moment. You have to ask yourself, how do I nail this shot, what I'm doing today, and what do I do to set myself up for the next shot or the future? And think of it, just everyone throw in the chat, throw in something that you think is a hard spot in real estate right now, or maybe a spot that you don't want to go. I just want to see a couple in the chat. And if it's the examples I gave, that's great. If not, throw some other ones in there. But I want you to think of what the hard spots are, and create a plan around them. And I'm not telling you to shift your business 100% to these, but if you want to get to the point where you sell a lot of homes, and to me, a lot of homes is like 100 plus. If you want to get to that point, you need to find a spot that you can go and work that nobody else wants to work, or that nobody else is willing to work. And what you're going to notice is those are the spots where you get rich. Those are the spots that, really, really struggle. Right now, they could be. So I see FSBO, I see farming, cold calling in general. I agree. Cold calling is down now more than ever because people are getting the layups, right? So figure out what that spot is for you in your market specifically, and get there. I'll tell you one in our market that's been working really well is credit repair. And I know no one is so excited to help everybody that doesn't have good enough credit to buy right now. But the market of the moment, the market that we're in right now, is hard. But we all know that at some point there's going to be an end to that. And let's say we start working right now with 50 people that all have credit not good enough to buy. But over the course of the next 6 months, the market flattens out, calms down a little bit. And then when things are a little bit easier, we have 50 buyers waiting in the wings. Hard spot now, but setting ourselves up for the next shot, right? That's the end of my bad golf analogies, I promise. All right. Step number 2, or secret number 2, that agents that sell 100 homes a year don't want you to know. Set one face-to-face appointment per day, no matter what. And this is a struggle that I hear with agents all the time. And it was something that we did on our team. No matter what, on our team, it was 2 a day. And if you had a certain number of days where you didn't set 2 appointments in a day, you were setting yourself an appointment to be off the team. So one of the things that we said is, no matter what, it doesn't matter how many contacts you make, right? But you need to be setting one face-to-face appointment every day that you need to work, no matter what. And this is a habit that you want to start today. So the number of contacts don't matter. A lot of times I talk to real estate agents and they'll say, well, I made 20 contacts today and yesterday and Sunday and Saturday and Friday as well. So I made 100 contacts in the last week, and that's really great. But how many appointments did you set? If they didn't set any appointments, those contacts don't really matter. It's good to have follow-up. I get that. But we have to look at our business and say, okay, the only thing that we're going to do to be able to generate new income is get another appointment or get a new appointment. And everything else that we're doing is just servicing what we have or preparing for the future. But we have to look at our schedule, and we have to look at our day and say, if we're going to put the boots on and lace up and go to work, we need to make sure we're setting one appointment per day that we work, no matter what. nothing else really needs to be done until you set one appointment, right? There's no fires in real estate. And if there are, you're most likely not the one that's going to put it out, right? Cindy and Kent and our team at Professional will take care of it on the closing side. And the other thing I always used to tell my agents, and they always thought I was insane, but on every transaction, there's somewhere between 8 and 12 people that need to get paid, or that the money in that transaction means something to. Now, what I'm thinking about this is I'm thinking real estate agent on either side, broker on either side, buyer and seller, right? Each side of the transaction. Then there's insurance, then there's mortgage, then there's the movers, then there's the title company, then there's the inspector, the appraiser, all these people that need to get paid, basically because of the transaction. One of those during the course of the transaction is going to need money, or is going to be invested in getting that thing closed. And while that's great, we want to service and work on what we can. I don't want you spending all of your time on past business or sticking with it. If you want to get to this point of selling 100 homes a year, or maybe it's just selling 10 more, one more per month than you're already doing, you have to have this mentality that no matter what, if I'm going to work today, I'm going to set an appointment for today or for the next day. And I'm just not going to leave until that happens. And if it takes me 3 contacts and you're done by 9:07 and you can go sit on the beach because you set 2 appointments for tomorrow, great. But there's going to be days where it takes 300 contacts and you're there until midnight, and you have the sleeping bag coming out of the car to get this thing done. And we have to be okay with that if you want to sell a lot of homes. If you want to take your business to the next level, we can't be okay with going home if we haven't set an appointment that day. We only get in our business what we are unwilling to not have. So that means the only way we're going to get appointments is if we are just unwilling to not have appointments. If that is just a non-negotiable that we're not going to have an appointment tomorrow, we're going to get one, right? And we're going to make sure it happens. So that's secret number 2. Number 3, one of my favorites, internet lead generation is a must. It is not an option. I get a lot of people that we train or coach with or work with, and they say, well, what do you think about internet leads? Or, I don't really like Facebook, or I don't like Instagram or whatever. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really either. I don't like people knowing where I'm at, what I'm eating, what I'm doing, who I'm with. However, if we are going to make it in this business, we need internet lead generation, period, because our customers are there. They expect us to be there. If our customer is there, or consumer is there, it's our job to get there regardless of if we like it or not. It doesn't matter what we think about it, or if we want to learn it, or we think it's stupid or whatever. It doesn't matter. If we want to do business in 2021 and we want to do more business, and if we want to sell 100 homes a year, we need to be focusing on internet lead generation. It needs to be something that is in our business plan, because if not, we're getting left behind. I don't know if you guys do this, but I always use a restaurant example. And some of you that were on early heard that I'm a little bit of a food snob. But one of the things I always do is, like, if I'm looking for somewhere to go or deciding on a restaurant or something, I look on Instagram, I look on Facebook. And if they're not on there, to me, they're just not even a real business. Like, I'm not even going to bother going there, because if they don't have a social presence right now, if they're not getting reviews, or people aren't liking them, or collaborating with them, how serious are they, right? Even 10 years ago, we needed internet lead generation right now, but back then, but if it's not in your business plan right now, if it's not something that we are doing daily, weekly, monthly, regardless of how much we like it, we're not going to succeed, and we're not going to move to the next level of this business. It is a must, regardless of how much we like it or want to admit that. We need to think about it. And does everybody love internet lead generation? No, I get that. But just keep in mind that your consumer is there. So if you're not there, they are finding somebody else that is. And a lot of times we get the older agents, and I'm not picking on the older agents, but a lot of times we get the older agents that say, well, I'm old school, and I just do everything by referral. And that's great, but there is a point where that referral basis is going to end, because what if I'm the person that's getting referred, right? So let's say I'm going to move to Claremont because I love it there and I want to go work with Kent all the time. So I am going to move to Claremont, and I would get on the horn, or maybe someone I know, and say, hey, you should work with this real estate agent. Before I call them, I'm typing in their name on Google, I'm typing in their name on Facebook, I'm typing in their name on Instagram. And if I can't find them and think that I would relate to them, I'm already on to the next one. I haven't made the call. It didn't matter what somebody told me. And I get everyone is not like that, but that day is coming. That generation is coming. And another example of that is my brother, who is my brother, obviously. He's 20, I don't know, 4, and he just bought a house. And he said at the end of the transaction, he was like, if you weren't my brother, I wouldn't have needed you or a real estate agent. And I would not have gone with who you referred me, because they weren't on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, his group of friends is into. And we need to kind of have that mindset with everything on the internet. it is time to have a Facebook page, an Instagram page. And do we need to be on it every second of every day? No. And if it's not you and it's not your strength, fine. Hire it out, leverage it out, team up with somebody who it is. But I want you guys to get out of your head that internet lead generation is an option, because it's not. It is a must. If you want to sell more homes or sell 100 homes a year, it is a must, and you have to adapt to that whether you like it or not. And if you don't know how to do that, or you don't want to learn it, you could get with Cindy or Kent and they will book me for a one-on-one with you, or leverage it out. Maybe you have a child, a grandchild, a friend of the family, somebody that is working in a marketing or PR space or getting a college degree or trying to work on those things and grow their portfolio and their options. Hire them out for cheap or free for child labor or whatever you're into, and get them to help you, because they'll pick it up pretty quickly. All right. Secret number 4, one wanted post every single week. So I took this is literally a screenshot of a friend of mine's email newsletter that they do. And this looks not so amazing. I realize that this is not hours in the lab creating this marketing piece, but they absolutely crush it with these wanted things. And we have been doing this since 2012. When I was running our team, 12, 13, 14, we did the wanted ad. We did one a week, every week, no matter what. Sometimes we did 10 at a time. But the goal behind the wanted ad is a couple of different things. Number one, it's showing your current buyers and sellers that you're delivering extra value. You're going above and beyond what everybody else is doing, of just looking in the MLS, hoping something pops up today that might be a fit, and then trying to get lucky with a showing, and then trying to beat out 510 other showings and offers. It shows your current people that you're going above and beyond and doing that. And it shows your prospective buyers and sellers what you do that's above and beyond, that's going to help them get a deal that somebody else isn't going to get. So you can create one of these things in something like Canva or Photoshop if you're fancy, and very easily make one of these something very simple, just an old school looking wanted ad, a picture ideally of either what you want or maybe the people you're working with. So if you're working with the family and they have a cute picture with kids or pets or something, use that, because that'll get people going. And just say what you're looking for. So a condo with a boat slip under 500,000 anywhere in whatever county or whatever town. A 3-2 with a water view in a certain school district or in a certain neighborhood. And you want to just get that out there. For those of you that struggle with content on the one we talked about before, internet and social, slam dunk, nice and easy. But this is not something that should be done just when you feel like it. This should be done every week. Right? The goal of this is to stop the scroll. It's to stop people scrolling through their email really quickly and missing it. It's to stop people from scrolling on social and missing it. You want someone to stop the scroll, look at that, pay attention, and think for a second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds or 5 seconds or whatever it is, and think, do I have someone for that? Do I have a seller? Do I have a buyer? Do I have someone that makes sense there? Like we said, it works for your current buyers. It works for your prospective buyers and sellers. And it's going to help you be proven to be the local expert, to see someone, be seen as someone that is doing business and that is helping stir the pot. If you do one of these every week, especially if you have different price points. So I'm sure you guys are experiencing the same thing that we are down here, struggling with inventory. But think about what you can do to A, stop the scroll, but to B, stir the pot every single week, no matter what. We used to have this board on our team, and one half of it was just buyers and the other half of it was just sellers. And on the buyer side, we would write their name and roughly what they were looking for. So the Smiths, 3-2 and XYZ subdivision. The Browns, 2-2 condo on the water, whatever it was. And we would list all those out. But then we would take it one step further and do the same thing on sellers. So if we had a seller, let's say we went on a listing appointment 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever, they raised their hand, said that they want to sell, but for whatever reason, they're not ready. Maybe the money isn't there yet. Maybe they don't know where they're going to go. Maybe they are scared with COVID, so they don't want to do showings. They don't want people in their house. Maybe they have 37 dogs, so they don't want to do showings, whatever it is. But we'd have, okay, sellers, the Smiths, 3-2, around 500,000 in this neighborhood. The Browns, 2-2 condo on the beach, whatever. And when you're putting these wanted ads out, you can always be sending these to the list of prospective sellers to show that, hey, we're looking for people that are looking for a great deal, don't want to deal with the MLS right now. They don't want to be on the market. However, if we have the perfect match, we can connect these two groups of people, get a deal done off market in a time frame that's realistic instead of having to go on the market, sell in 30 days, move in 30 days, all that fun stuff. So use these wanted ads as something that shows that you're doing business, that helps you drum up new business and drum up new clients. and makes your life easier and shows that you're busy. So my friend Vinny, who I stole this from, they do a weekly newsletter. And this is 1/3 of the newsletter every week is just whatever their wanted ad is. And next to it, they'll write a little blurb of who they're looking for, why they're looking, and if there's any key features or anything that they're looking for. But all of us have a buyer right now. All of us, even people on here that don't sell real estate or that are lenders or vendors or whatever, we all know someone right now that if they found X, Y, and Z, they would buy. And this is the strategy to be able to take advantage of having those people in the pipeline and also drum up new business while leveraging the business that we have. All right. Secret number 5, if you want to sell 100 plus homes a year, visit one FSBO or expired door every day that you work. Now, this is not call them. This is not check it out online. This is not dig around on Zillow or Trulia or homes.com and see what pops up. I'm talking about stopping in to one FSBO or one expired every day that you're going to work. And I know this might sound obnoxious, but what I want you to think, there's tons of homes expiring every day, usually 100 plus in every MLS every single day expire. So there's options there. There's new FSBOs and old FSBOs coming up and sitting around getting stale all the time. There's old expireds all the time. What I want you to do is think about your normal route and figure out where you can squeeze one in. So maybe it's on the way to the office in the morning, on the way home, in between picking up the kids, going to dinner, going to activities, whatever it is that you do before or after the grocery store, whatever. And I just want you to pop by, have an opportunity to create a relationship that you'll never be able to build over the phone or via email. Give yourself an actual opportunity by visiting one FSBO or expired door every single day that you work. We know that the FSBOs have one hand up, right? They're already saying that they want to sell. The other hand isn't up yet because they don't want to pay or they hate realtors or they're cheap or whatever, but they have one hand up, right? They're giving us a target and saying, yeah, we want to sell. The expireds have two hands up. They want to sell and they already said they're willing to pay. They just failed. They either chose the wrong agent, chose the wrong price, missed the timing, didn't allow showings, whatever their excuse or their reason was. They have both hands up and they're saying, listen, yes, I want to sell. And yes, I'm willing to pay you. So we just have to get in their way. If you show up, things can happen that can't happen over the phone, over the internet. Right. What we used to do these fake pop-by appointments and they were so rigged and so strategic every time, but it looked the same way every time. On the way home or on the way out or on the way to an errand, we would either do it ourselves or send somebody to a FSBO or an expired, at least one every day. Some days it was the whole day. And the trick is they would pull into the driveway, they would keep their car running, they would keep the door open, and they would go knock on the door or ring the doorbell or see them in the driveway or whatever and just say, hey, I'm super busy, but I remember the other day I saw that this house had expired and I just wanted to come over and see for myself, why the heck did this thing not sell? And find out if I had a buyer, if the seller's still willing to sell, right? And they're actually having that conversation with them. The car's still running, the door's still open, so the people think you're busy and you have other stuff to do. So if you really do have something to do, that's your bailout, right? Or if you don't like it or you don't want to hang out there, you can get out easily. And if it goes well and they say, hey, come in, check out the house, go shut your car off, close the door, bring a listing agreement in because you strategically already have one in your car and walk around and figure out if this is a deal. You have to be in the way for these good things to happen. It's similar with open houses. But with a FSBO and expired, these people already have told us, they've already told the world that they want to sell. You just need to overcome an objection or build a relationship. And for most of us, that's not that hard. You guys chose to be in a people-centric business. We need to do something that gets us around the humans. We can't just sit at home and say, oh, well, I'm going to call expireds. And if no one answers, then I'm going to say expireds don't work. Put this into your schedule. I guarantee you, if you guys really made an effort, 4 or 5 days a week, you could stop off at a FSBO or expired that either has expired in the last couple of days, has listed as a FSBO recently, maybe is an old expired. You could do one a day every day and have it not take more than 10 minutes extra out of whatever your schedule is already like. I'm not telling you to change your whole schedule, your whole week, your whole life. Just add 15 minutes of on-purpose activity every day. Maybe it's 5 minutes out of the way, 5-minute pop by, and 5 minutes back to get on your track. But do this. Add in one FSBO or expired door every single day that you choose to work and watch what happens. Number 6, secrets that agents that sell 100 homes a year don't want you to know. Number 6, send a custom buyer phishing email every day. The key word of this is custom. I should have highlighted it, underlined it, put it in bold and italic. We all know by now that the MLS sends out auto emails when stuff comes on the market. And guess what? So does Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes.com, every other real estate agent that has IDX. Every one of them does that. And there's a good chance if you have buyers on that, they're also on someone else's or on another company's. But you have to figure out Okay, what can I do that's going to look different? Because although some of them may think we're awake at 3 in the morning, sending them the listing that just populated in the MLS, most of them know they're just on an auto search. And when they see the same title, the same subject, the same thing all the time, they might look at it every day, every couple days, whatever it is, but it's not something that they feel is being customized to them. But when you do this in a real true custom fashion, you get results for this for sure. So custom is key. Ideally, it will be a quick video. So you just hold your phone up when you're in a property, do a little, spin around or a little tour, and just say, hey, Cindy, it's Ryan over at XYZ Realty. I was out with my buyer, Kent, and we're in this property. It's a 3-2. It is the best deal in terms of price per square footage on the market right now. And in your price range, that $300,000 to $400,000 range right now, this is the best deal on the market. And I would feel like I'm doing you a disservice by not telling you that you need to buy this house. Are you interested? Are you ready to make an offer? Right? And just stir the pot. And some days they're going to say, no, I saw that one. It's not for me. Why do you think it's a good deal? Whatever. Some days they're going to say, oh my God, I didn't even see it. I don't know how we missed that one. I've been thinking about you, but I haven't found a house. Set me up. When can I see it? And it gives you an opportunity, right? So you want to throw in there things like, hey, do you want to buy this house? I thought of you because it is the lowest price per square foot. It's the best deal. It has the coolest pool. Check out this grill. Look at this kitchen. I can't believe this granite. Whatever it is, something that you know is in their wheelhouse for things that they want to do, prices that make sense for them, and just ask them flat out, do they have any interest? And I will tell you a little trick that we used to do with this all the time is we used to do this when our buyers were there. So let's say I'm walking around in the house with Cindy, who's buyer one, and I really do have Kent, who's buyer two. And Cindy's not sure if she wants to buy the house, or she has some excuse, or her uncle from Seattle has to fly out because he bought a house once and he knows everything about real estate. Whatever it is, I'm going to take that quick picture, quick video while Cindy's standing there and say, hey, Kent, I'm here with one of my other buyers. And she's not really sure if this is the home for her, but I saw this and this is the best deal in Daytona Beach. And I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't send it to you. So are you interested in it? And half the time, Cindy's going to be like, hey, don't send that yet. Don't just put that down for a second. Don't send that. Why are you sending that to them? Right. And we're creating some urgency there. But the key to this is something that's custom, a custom phishing email every day, at least one of these every day. If you have a lot of buyers and you're out looking at a lot of properties, do more. But I want you to send one of these every day that's customized. It doesn't have to be, a Steven Spielberg production. It could be 10 seconds. And ideally just pick one feature or one thing that that property has that made you think of that other person. So some of the examples that I put there: lowest price per square foot, best deal, coolest pool, best master shower, great room for a pool table, whatever it is, whatever it is that you think is going to get your buyer paying attention. Check out that boat slip, right? And the one we used earlier, the boat slip. Imagine you're at a condo that has a boat slip and you're standing in the window and say, hey, look at this. I'm in this condo, do a little quick 360. And I thought of you. And oh my God, look, there's your boat slip. Right. And if it doesn't get them to buy that house, that's okay. But if that strengthens that relationship and builds them up, that you're doing something for them that nobody else is, it gives you an opportunity to do more deals or to do a deal right there with that person. Number 7, fixed follow-up day every week. Having one day per week, ideally the same day every week, that is a fixed follow-up day. As realtors in general, we are pretty bad with follow-up, myself included. It's just kind of who we are, right? We're good at low-hanging fruit. We're usually good in person or getting on the phone or doing some showings with someone. However, follow-up usually is not our strength. I heard a quote one time that I thought was really good. Lead generation will give you a sale. Lead follow-up will give you a business. And when you really think about that, I think about how we sold a lot of houses and how my offices did thousands of deals a year. And it was because we would have a fixed follow-up day. And a lot of times we would do it as a group because I'm not so great at sitting alone in a box and making phone calls all day. But think about what you can do to have a fixed follow-up day every single week. Spend one day a week solely on follow-up. To me, I never like it to be Monday and I never like it to be Friday. Usually Monday, I know in our world, we're cleaning up the messes or writing the offers or doing the negotiations from the weekend. And Friday, we're preparing for the messes that are about to come or setting up all of our showings or, planning the map route so we can be the most efficient and take our people there. So don't do it Monday or Friday. And also that's when they're taking their long weekends, right? Or they're busiest at work or they're checking out and hitting happy hour earlier. So don't do it Monday or Friday. Throw it in Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And just know that every week you're going to have a day that you hit all of your follow-up. If you have follow-up right now that you're behind on, in the chat, I just want you to type yes. I just want to test. Number one, to see if anybody's awake. And number two, to see if I'm the only one that is behind on follow-up. So if you are someone that you think is behind on follow-up right now, meaning you have someone that you know you should follow up with, and for whatever reason you haven't talked to them. I don't know why. I don't really care why, but we all have it, right? So we have agents on the call doing that. We have title reps on the call doing that. We have the trainer who's training it on the call saying it. We're all in the same spot, right? What would it look like if one day every week we just said, we are going to nail follow-up? And for those of you that are newer, maybe you don't have a ton of follow-up, make it a half a day, right? Make it an hour, but build that habit. This is a secret that agents that sell 100 homes a year don't want you to know, because they know if you don't follow up with them, they will, and they're going to grab some extra deals that way. So block that day on your calendar, one day a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, ideally. And remember, lead gen will get you the sale. We teach lead gen all the time, right? It's one of the things I love to teach. But lead follow-up is what's going to grow you a business and really be able to scale. When you sell one house a month, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And for a lot of us, we make six figures or more than we've ever made doing that. I understand. When you sell 100 homes a year, you have a business. That is a real business. And here's the script, nice and simple. I just wanted to call and follow up. That's it. Hey, Kent, it's Ryan. Just wanted to call and follow up. And then you're going to look at your notes or remember why you're following up with them, right? Most of us have a note. They came into an open house 3 years ago, said they wanted to buy, and then we never followed up with them again, right? I'm guilty of this too. So we're just saying, hey, Kent, it's Ryan over at XYZ Realty. I just wanted to call and follow up. Last time we talked, you were doing X. Curious if you're still trying to do X. If not, can I help you do Y? And if you need anything real estate related this week, I just want you to give me a call. And you could leave that same thing as a voicemail. I know people always say, oh, do you leave a voicemail? What do you have to lose, right? Hey, Kent, it's Ryan over at XYZ Realty. I just wanted to give you a call and follow up. The last time we talked, we were walking around that open house over in Claremont, and you said you were thinking about buying something when the interest rates went down. Well, guess what, man? The interest rates are down. Just wanted to check, see if you bought anything. If not, or if you have any real estate related questions, just give me a call. Right? Do this every week with all of your follow-up. And you might not get through all of it. And we all go through and we see those names that we're like, I don't like that person. I'm scared to call them. I don't want to follow up with them. I don't care if they bought anything, whatever. Skip those if you want. But I know all of us in here, all of us on this call, a couple people just typed it in the chat too, to agree. We all have somebody that we could follow up with today. But we're busy. We have a life, right? And if we blocked into our schedule every week, no matter what, one day, that we're just going to really do good at follow-up. And what's great about this is you could do it with no pants on. You could do it in your pajamas. You could sit at home in bed and do this. We don't have to be out and about, right? We don't have to look good. We don't have to have makeup on. We don't have to have our hair done. We can just sit at home, bang these out, throw the notes in there. And usually what we talked about earlier, right? Making sure that we set at least one appointment a day. Usually you'll set enough appointments out of this follow-up that you don't need to do anything else the other days. You could do it all in one day. But make sure it's a piece of your calendar. Don't just say you'll get around to it when you get around to it. Number 8, secret number 8 that agents who sell 100 homes a year don't want you to know. Put your sign in the yard once your buyers close. And I know this is weird, but I want you guys to do it anyway. One thing I know is real estate math. I would consider myself a math or a money nerd. I'm not really good at math, like math in school, but I was always good at probability or statistics, which is like gambling math, because I enjoy some gambling. And I love money math, right? Commission. If anything, 3 to 6%, I can do it. Sometimes if I'm at a restaurant and I've had 1 or 2 too many cocktails and I want to leave them like an 18 or 24% tip, I will do it in commission math. And I'll do 6%, 6%, 6%, 6%, put them all together. And that way I'll come up with a halfway decent tip. One thing I do know about math, 50% of all the business that gets done is buyers, right? If there's a house selling, there has to be a buyer. Simple math, not that difficult. If there's a seller, there's a buyer. If there's a buyer, there's a seller. The listing agents get all the credit with their signs. Why do the buyer's agents not do the same thing? Why do we not show off that we brought the buyer in this difficult market? Why do we not show off that someone else sold the house? Well, so did we. We sold the house as well. Why do we let the listing agent get all that credit? Listing agents on the call, don't hate me, but I want you to do this as well. When you buy, take your sign, put it in the yard. And now we're not just going to show up overnight, the night that our buyers bought, and just plant the sign in the yard. We're going to set this up in a system. It's going to be a system. I'm a systems guy. If you haven't figured out, it's going to be a system that the day that we meet our buyers, we're going to tell them, hey, look, one thing that we do is whenever we sell a house, we put some signs in the yard, just like we do with listing agents and our sellers. And you see this all the time. I'm sure you've been driving around and you see signs. Well, guess what happens when someone sees a sign? 25% of them don't even realize that it's the wrong side of the deal sign, right? So when you put this sign in the ground, it's going to say buyer found by with a sticker, maybe a sign rider or a balloon or whatever. And then it's going to show your name, your information, just like it was a for sale sign. 25% of people are not even going to recognize that or pay attention. They're just going to call, and you're going to pick up sign calls and leads just because they say, hey, I'm in front of 123 Main Street and there's a sign on the ground, just want to see how much the property is. They have no idea that it's already sold because they didn't even read it. They were just driving by, they caught the number, they're stopped out front, they caught the number, and they call you. The other 75% of people are going to say, like, why are they putting a buyer sign on there? You are going above and beyond for your buyers. And when you said it in the beginning, the intention that, hey, when you buy a house, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show that we helped you buy this house, right? In a market that's absolutely insane right now, they want to see the agents that are being successful. We can always see the listing agents because their signs are there. But what about the successful buyer's agent? No offense, listing agents again, but right now it is way more difficult to be a buyer's agent than it is to be a listing agent. If you're a listing agent, you could get away with the 3 Ps. Put it in the MLS, put a sign in the yard, and pray that it sells, because most of the time it does. What about when you're a buyer's agent right now? If anybody on this call has been a buyer's agent recently, competing against 50 showings in the same day and 17 offers, and you have to write your letter and put 17 drops of blood in the letter to be able to get your buyer accepted on a deal, and put no contingencies and no inspection and cash and over asking, and we have to meet the appraiser with a bottle of Johnny Walker. Don't do that. It works every time, but don't do that. We realize how difficult it is to be a buyer's agent right now. Why not show off the fact that we're the successful buyer's agent that helps someone actually buy a house in this ridiculously crazy market? This is an opportunity, buyer's agents, to be able to do that, to be able to show who's successful, right? And don't you think the other sellers on the block or the other potential sellers are saying, wow, I know who sold the thing, but look who brought the buyer. Maybe I should call them and see if they have another buyer. Maybe we can get a deal done off market, right? So 50% of all businesses buyer. You're going to put a rider, a sign, a sticker, something that says the buyer found by, or buyers brought to this home by, or whatever your signs look like. Make it make sense, and create this system that's allowing the buyers you have now to help your future buyers and sellers. And you're telling them that because at one point they were the future buyers and sellers, and we're trying to pass it along. And if they let you keep that sign in the yard for a month, keep that sign in the yard for a month that you sold the house. If it's 2 months, great. If they forget about it or they moved out of state, even better. If it's an Airbnb, even better. Keep that sign up there as long as you possibly can and use that as leverage. Number nine secret, the social media A to Z once a month. This is one of the most successful things you can do on social without having to post and come up with content all the time. What I want you to do is pick your choice of social media platform. To me, right now, I think Facebook is the best because Facebook Messenger is the most used app across platforms, meaning it doesn't matter if you have Android or if you have Apple, right? So pick your social media platform and pick 1 letter per day and attack, right? 1 letter per day. So today I'm going to pick all my friends that start with first name A. So I'm going to pick Anna and Adam and Annalise and Annabelle and whatever other A names there are. And we're going to send them a DM, not a post. We're not going to go on their wall and post. We're going to send them a direct message, because it's going to go to their phone. They're going to get a notification. They're going to have the little one that drives them insane. They want to answer back. And they're going to see a message that came from someone that they know, or maybe that they don't know that well, ideally with a question. I always like to say, come up with the question of the month. And some months it might be, hey, are you ready for the kids to go back to school? Other months it might be, hey, have you seen that interest rates are so insanely low? Have you thought about a refi? Have you thought about selling and moving up? Have you thought about selling and moving down? It could be, hey, did you see the Bucks won the Super Bowl? Are you into football at all? And then you have for your database that they're a football fan and a reason to reach out to them. It could be, hey, did you see the local business that opened in town? Did you see there's a new taco food truck? No, I haven't. Great. Well, they're in my database vendor program and I actually got a deal. Would love for you to go try them out. 10% off if you go on me. Whatever it is, doesn't have to be real estate related, but we need a question of the month. And we're going to just repetitively do that. What I want you to think of is you're stirring the pot every single day. The social A to Z will stir the pot every single day. If you guys went on your social media right now, I guarantee you every single person on this call on Facebook has at least 5 people in the A's that if they started today or they started tomorrow, could send at least 5 messages, create at least 5 contacts, and 5 opportunities for you to start a dialogue with someone that you would not have talked to today. And the numbers just say that we're going to get some deals out of this, right? We're going to absolutely steal some deals out of this that we didn't even think existed. And this is another one of those things that we don't have to get dressed up for. We don't have to go out. We don't have to worry about COVID. We can do all this from wherever we're comfortable, and we can do this forever because people, as we mentioned earlier, are on social media more than they're doing anything else. And we need to go to the spot that they are on. So do your social media A to Z once a month, no matter what. There's 26 letters in the alphabet and somewhere between 28 and 31 days every month, right? So we can bang out one letter a day and still take a couple days off and be able to stir the pot in our database all the time. Come up with that question of the month. Maybe one per quarter is real estate related. The other ones, ideally about local events, local businesses, maybe opportunities. You could do one, hey, have you thought about investing in real estate? I found a great deal, or I'm working on a couple great deals. Anything like that, that stirs the pot. And you're going to get some people that block you, and that's fine, because then you know what? They weren't going to send you real estate business anyway. You're going to get some people that ghost or don't answer. No big deal. Keep sending them, once a month, hit them every time. And you're going to get some people that answer back like in 1 second. And you're like, I've called you, texted you, emailed you, sent the pigeons, and you've never answered anything back, but I send you a Facebook message and 3 seconds later you answer. And you realize that that's their preferred method of contact. And now that is a database builder for you as well. So social media A to Z once per month, no matter what. Pick one letter a day, send them the direct message, not a post, and come up with a question of the month that you can ask them. And it's okay to ask the same question to all 1,000 people that you send this to, because they don't know. Whereas if you post it, everybody sees it, they either answer or they don't, and it's onward. If you send these messages, your response rate is going to be 10 times higher than whatever you get on a post, guaranteed. Last but not least, the only unsolicited thing you should ever send, an unsolicited CMA. What we want with this is we want it to be random, or random, I should say, with the air quotes. When I say random, I'm thinking so strategically, so strategically, but you want them to feel like it's random. So right now, my random selection would be anyone that I sold a house to from 2012 to 2019, because we know a couple of things about this group. Number one, they have equity, period. If I sold them a house between 2012 and 2019 and they paid their bills, there is no way that they don't have natural equity just from the market going up. Nonetheless, principal pay down, but just from the market cranking up, they have equity, right? No matter what. The other thing we know about them is today's rates are better than they were then, period. No one got a rate in the twos from 2012 to 2019. No one, 0 people, not one person got that. So we know we have an opportunity for possibly a refi, which I get it. We're not always making commission on. Cindy and Kent will help you with the refis too, but I get that we're not always making commission on that. But if you can call a past client and save them $300 a month, you are keeping that client forever, period. Because that $300 a month is, I don't know, 1, 2, or 3 date nights. It's something with the kids, it's savings, it's a car payment, whatever it is, it's something. And if they have equity, we're giving them here the opportunity to cash out and move on. Maybe they're buying up, maybe they're buying down, paying off the house, whatever it is. Come up with your random selection strategy. That would be mine. Any past client from 12 to 19, or really anyone that bought a house in that time frame, and send it. And when I say just send it, I mean just send it. Don't overthink it. No one cares if it's accurate. And if you don't believe that's true, just ask Zillow, because the Zestimate has never been accurate once, and it absolutely crushes the home valuation game, and it is never accurate. If I ever could have sold any of the properties that I own for what Zillow said they were worth, I would not be working, and I would have a whole collection of Ferraris. So they don't care what it's worth, right? You're just using this as a conversation starter. And the truth is, you don't care what it's worth. Use RPR or HomeBot or any program or whatever you guys use to do a quick CMA. I'm not saying spend 3 hours and get every detailed comp and go right down to the square footage. We want to send them something that looks like this. You can put it in an email. You can put it in a text. You could send it via direct mail, whatever you think makes the most sense for that client, because again, it isn't really random, it's strategic. And you're going to say, I was doing some research on your real estate holdings. It looks like your house might now be worth as much as, and this ideally is a high number, right? That's your pitch. And you're going to print out the CMA and fold it up and stick it in the envelope, or you're going to attach it as a PDF, or you're going to put it as a picture and send it through text, whatever it is that you're going to do. And then when they respond, they're either going to be like, I don't care, right? That's one option. I don't care. Great. No problem. Just randomly selected. You want to send it along. 2, they're not going to answer ever, or they're not going to respond, and that's okay. Or 3, they're going to say, holy crap, I had no idea. I've heard the market is crazy, but I've been doing life for the last 7 years since you sold me that house, or since I bought the house, and I haven't spent 1 second thinking about what my house is worth. What does that mean to me, right? And then it's, I'd love to really get an idea of exactly what it's worth, because this is just a guess. So are you available today at 2 or tomorrow at 4 for me to pop by for 15 minutes and see what that thing is really worth and give you a real number and let you see your options? Maybe you want to move up, maybe you want to move down, maybe you want to refi, maybe it's time to sell, whatever. Who cares what the answer is? Random selection, just send it. Don't overthink it. Don't spend your whole life on this. No one cares about the accuracy, again, with the Zillow thing. And here's the script. I was doing some research on your real estate holdings. Looks like your house might now be worth as much as whatever. When I say send an unsolicited CMA, I'm talking in volume here, right? These are 10 secrets that agents who sell 100 homes a year, not 10 secrets who sell 3 homes in their career, right? We're talking at least one of these a day. And come up with the system that lets you do this in 1 minute. So can I go on my database, see someone I sold a house to or someone that I know that's owned a house for a while, type their address in on RPR, how fast can I click the PDF, attach it in an email, and then copy and paste the script over and over again? I don't want this to be, well, this crazy guy on the computer told me to spend 12 hours a day sending CMAs. Send 1 a day or 2 a day. I guarantee you within a week, it's more CMAs than you've sent out in the last year. And you're going to stir the pot and you're going to get some things happening and you're going to get some people answering in ways that you never would have expected. That's going to give you opportunities to grab some listings. And we know if you get a listing in this market, you get a paycheck, right? We know if we take a listing in February, we're getting paid in March right now, period. Like you're printing money with this. So in summary, before we wrap up, I want to go through these 1 through 10 real quickly, and then we'll wrap up and then I'll hang on for questions. Number 1, bunkers and fan shots. Figure out what your difficult spot is or what the pain point is or the hard shot is in your market and go there. Or if you have a team, send someone there, whatever it is. Number 2, 1 face-to-face appointment, no matter what. No matter what is the key part of this. Set 1 face-to-face appointment every single day. If you're going to work, make it work. Number 3, internet lead generation is a must. It is not an option. There is no longer an option that includes not having a Facebook business page, an Instagram business page, or generating leads on the internet. Number 4, 1 wanted post every single week minimum. Create one of these every single week minimum, because I know everyone on this call has at least 1 buyer. So there's yours for this week at least. And if you're taking the last step of advice, the 1 face-to-face appointment per day, by the time it gets time to do it next week, you're going to have somebody else that you can do this for as well, right? Number 5, visit in person. 1 FSBO or expired door every single day that you work. So get your butt out of bed or out of the house if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable with COVID, or I'm not trying to break that, but if you're comfortable with doing this, get out of the house, spend 15 extra minutes a day and visit 1 FSBO or expired door every single day that you're going to work. Get in the path of business. Give yourself an opportunity to make a difference. Number 6, send a custom buyer phishing email or text every day, preferably with a video of something that you found. Number 7, select a fixed follow-up day every week. Get that thing on your calendar. A fixed follow-up day every single week. Number 8, put your own sign in the yard of buyers when you sell the house and leave it there as long as you can. Number 9, do the social media A to Z once every single month. Stir the entire pot, stir the entire database once a month on social. Number 10, send an unsolicited CMA as often as you can, ideally 1 a day minimum. That's random. If you have not already joined my private Facebook group, I have some old scripts in there. I throw some new scripts in there. I'm going to throw that in the chat for you guys. It is private, so you're going to have to request to join, and I will approve everybody that's on this call once we do the attendance. Let me copy and throw that in the chat for you. And then I will move on. Hang on 1 second. All right, that is in the chat. Kara, as always, I'm not sure if you're on or not. I know you had stuff going on today, but thank you for the slides, the GIFs, the graphics, all the marketing stuff. If you guys want the replay, reach out to Cindy and Kent. I will get that for them tonight. If you're already working with us at Professional, we appreciate it. If not, there's anything we can do to earn that business, let me know. Cindy and Kent both know how to get a hold of me. We will be doing, moving forward, it looks like at least once a month in person, small masterminds or small groups or small little events to help you guys build your business. So I was up with Cindy last Friday, and we're planning one to get up there with Kent, and I will be in your markets, some in-person stuff. And I'm sure Scott will say, hopefully, that it was valuable for his gang. Coming up next week, we don't have the title finalized, but we're going to be doing something with data, something along the lines of data is the new gold or data is the new oil. We have a great program inside of our title company that we have purchased in the past that has been doing a huge revamp that allows you guys to get some pretty cool data on homeowners and on different people that we want to target to get business from. So I'm putting together a training for that. It is the cheapest data source you will get data from. I guarantee you of that. Earlier today, I was on a call with LandVoice. I don't know if you guys know who LandVoice is, but they do data. And their minimum package to get data from them was $799 a month. And the thing that we're talking about is going to be like literally dollars and cents. So that will be cool. Cindy, I saw just said we have a door prize, so I'm going to let her do that. And then I'm going to stop the recording. And then if anybody does have any questions, I will hang out and answer them and go through the chat. So thank you guys for being on. If you want to participate in the door prize,